Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we're talking about sitting position and how to find the best sitting position for you. And if you're new to this channel, this is NEA Racing. So there are a lot of videos online on YouTube about sitting position and the best way to find a sitting position. I'm not going to go into details or all those extra itty bits of details when it comes to sitting position. I'm just going to give you a few tips and things to consider when you're setting up your sitting position. And if you want some more in-depth videos, there are other videos on sitting position that even shows angles and all that kind of detailed stuff that most people who are more into details and technicalities or technical stuff would like. But this video is just basically tips and things to consider when you're setting up your sitting position. Number one thing you need to consider when you're setting up your sitting position is your body type. There are a lot of videos where you see people who they set it at angles, but you fail to consider that maybe the arms of the person who's set in that position is longer than yours, and so when you set it in an identical position, it compromises you. You're not comfortable. You're feeling a lot of strain. So the whole point of setting a good sitting position for yourself is, regardless of whatever angle they tell you or whatever tip that they give you, find the one that works for you without putting strain on your wrist, without putting strain on your knees, without putting strain on your ankles, and without, most importantly, putting strain on your back. These are the three to four major places that you should consider when you're setting your position, and mostly let it not take too much stress on your shoulders as well. So we'll start with the steering wheel. And the reason, as you can see from the camera on the back, the reason why you're not seeing any steering wheel right here is I want to show you guys one of the things about those tips that sometimes might be you have to find a compromising position. So I'll bring the Formula wheel and mount it for you guys to see what I mean. So in most YouTube videos, they tell you that when you're looking for a sitting position or a steering wheel position, that you should stretch your arms and like kind of hang it, should be straight, and by the time you get to your wrist, it should just go down on the steering wheel. Now the thing with this format is, now we've set this to replicate, to do well with the Formula wheel. But what happens when you take this out and put a round wheel? Does it still obey the same law of it being straight or something, being straight when you put your hand out, or does it change? So this is a circle wheel from Fanatec, same company, and I'll just slide it in. Hold on. Just slide this in. Sorry. Yes. Wrong clue. I'm going through. Yep. Slide this in. It's in position. And when I do the same thing, you notice that my arms is a bit higher, but still, like, the point where I meet the steering wheel is still where my wrist is bending down to on the steering wheel. So it still applies, follows the same logic of making it gets into the point where your wrist goes, once you get to the steering wheel, then it's just right on your wrist. But the thing is that it's not straight, and this is the reason why I say you should find a good position that works for you. If you adjust this steering wheel to a low level where your arms are straight, then that means that when you put your Formula wheel, it's going to be lower. and then you would have to readjust the height of the steering wheel every single time you change wheels. So when you the best thing I would say you should do when you're setting your steering wheel, especially if you have a Formula style wheel and a circle wheel, is use the Formula style wheel to measure your arm being straight and bending the elbow. When you put the circle or the round wheel, it should still be the same thing, but just when your arms go higher. And at the end of the day, when you're driving, you find out that the driving position is still comfortable for you with a round wheel, and the same way it's comfortable for you with a Formula wheel. That's for the steering wheel. That's my tip. There are other people with more in-depth videos you can watch. That's just a tip that I would tell you guys to consider. If you have two wheels, don't always make sure that you put one in the perfect position. If it means moving the Formula wheel, finding a good spot for the Formula wheel that matches a good spot for the round wheel, do that. Don't always, this might work sometimes, but it doesn't always work all the time, because the length of your arm to your body might be different from someone else, so it'll be completely different. So find what works for you and what's best for you. Now, second, for your back is the angle in which you put your seats, and this angle also translates to how you place or the placement of your pedals. The one thing I would say is this: if you have a very good rig that has a lot of adjustability, like for me, I'm rocking the Next Level Racing FGT Elite, which can switch from Formula style to hybrid and GT position. And the good thing about the adjustment is that you can find a sweet spot that works for you. It might not be completely GT, it might not be completely Formula, it might be just hybrid. The good thing about having pedals that can adjust to different angles is that you can find a good position that doesn't put strain on your knees, that doesn't put strain on your ankles. The major thing is when you're applying your brakes, you're applying your throttle, using your clutch, the muscles that you're supposed to use more are your quads. You're not supposed to use your ankles or your calves, mostly your quads that's doing the major movement in terms of pressing the brakes and also pressing the throttle. So that's pretty much finding a good position that doesn't put strain on your back, doesn't put strain on your wrist or your steering wheel position, and also angle your seats mostly in a reclined state in a way that your lower back is fully supported and your legs are not completely straight, so that when you're applying the brakes and pedals, when you're applying the brakes and throttle, you're using mostly your quads and not your ankles or your calf muscles, because due to excess flexing of the ankles when stepping on the pedals. So those are just a few tips that I felt like you guys should know about setting up your rig. And also in terms of setup as well, you also have to consider this setup relative to your monitors as well. These is very important because you want to have the full benefit of your monitors. So you have to set yourself, your pedal, your chair, your seating position, pedals in such a way that you also get the full benefit of your monitors without putting stress in your wrist, but it's stress in your back, your shoulders, your knees, ankles, and head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a tip that I just felt like you guys should know. I know most of you have seen videos like this and they pretty much say the same thing, but it's always good to just have someone just bring the same thought just to remind people. I always like to see videos like this, so I decided to just create one and give you guys, and let me know if you guys have any tip on how to set a good sitting position, what works for you. Let me know in the comment section what position has that you set your rig that has been comfortable for you to do long sessions without having issues. Let me know in the comment section. And as always, guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for being part of the NEA Racing family. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. And for those who aren't subscribed, if you do like contents like this, please do not forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so every time I post a video, you get notified. But until next time, guys, peace.